Hi and welcome to Python tutorial of how to develop a calculator. I'm going to start by showing you 45 multiplied by 9. There we go. Let's add some values to it. There. You can clear, and you can even say 2 or 4 multiplied by 2, and you decide to change the 2 and say 4 multiplied by 8. There we go. You can look for the square root of that and maybe take away 3 there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take you guys straight into Python development environment, and we'll put one of these together. So let's do that now, guys. Alright, welcome back to Python. So let's start by creating as follows, but the first thing I'll do is to import as follows. That's tk, import it all, enter a star there. The next object I'm going to import is going to be let's import mass function. Now I'm going to create my class. It's a class calc plus calculate, enter column there. Then let's define the function. Let's say init, and that's going to be, let's initialize as follows, and that's going to be self, right, and enter semicolon in there. Okay, let's say self dot total equals, let's initialize it with 0, and self dot current value equals nothing. Now let's say self dot input value that is equals true. Right, and let's go for another one and say self dot, let's check the sum, check sum equals false for now, and self dot operator that was used is nothing, so we're clearing the operator we intend to use, and self dot result equals false. Right, okay, now let's add some variables, and let's also define the value or the size of the interface and so on. First of all, I'm going to say add value, and that is equals to calculate, and let's say root equals tk, so that is my calculator self. Then the root title, I'm going to call that calculator. Right, and let's say the framework dot resizable, I'm going to make that false, so the width is going to be false and the height is going to be false as well, so you shouldn't be able to resize your calculator at random. Okay, then height equals there, false as well. So now let's add a frame to this. Let's say calculator equals frame, and the frame is going to be a resident inside the root, and let's say the calculator itself dot grid. There. Now, so what I'm going to do now is let's get the root to more or less like loop around main loop. Right. Okay. And before I continue, let me save my project. Save as. Let's say calculator. I'm just going to call it YouTube calculator. Right. That's going to be the name, YouTube calculator. And save that. Okay, if we decide to run it, and you guys will see what I've done so far, you might not be able to see it though. That is it right there, but we cannot resize it. Let me, if I comment this out, resizable, if I comment it out, we should be able to resize it, then you guys can see what's going on. There we go. That is it right there. That's a calculator framework. Nothing is there now. Okay, let's go back in here. I intend to leave my resizable the way it is now. So the next thing is, let me add a text box. Let's say my text box is going to be known as txt display. Right. So txt display equals object entry. Okay, now let's say object entry is resident inside the framework calc, which is right here. Right, now I'm going to define the font for this. Let's say my font is going to be font equals area, and the size for this font is going to be 20, and let's make it bold. Right, and just close that. Then the back color, I'm going to make the back color powdered blue. I like that powdered blue, so I might as well just enter powdered blue there. Powder blue. Right. And the border BD, let's say that's approximately 30, and the width, I'm going to say that is going to be about 28, and let's justify it to the right, equals right. There. Okay, now that that is done, let's say display dot grid that will be row equals 0 and column equals 0. So that's meant to be the position of this text box itself, and I would like this column to actually span to cover four areas of the button. So, and we pad it by 1. Right, and let's just say the value that we insert in here is going to be 0 anyway. Insert dot equals 0. Comma. There we go. Okay, let's run it and see what we've done. Oh, there's a comma missing here. Alright, so that's for the frame. Now let's run it. Go to run and save, and let's see what's going to happen. There we go. So that is for my text area, so in there we can enter our value in there. Alright, the next thing I would like to do now is I'm just going to create some buttons right underneath here. So right underneath here, I'm going to start by creating as a btn7 equals button. That's the object name, and this button is going to be right inside my calc, and let's say we pad it by 1 as well, then both, that will be 4, and the color, that will be black. The default color is black anyway. So, and the font, let's say the font is going to be, yeah, let's go for 20 as well. So I might as well just copy all of this, get rid of this, copy the font, paste that. That's for the font. And the width, let's get the width equals 6, comma, and the height is going to be 2, comma, and let's move this up a little bit. Okay, let's say the text on it, text equals 7, right, and so BG color, I'm going to make that powdered blue as well. Let me just copy that, powdered blue, BG equals powdered blue for this button. Now let's round it up because there's no function defined yet, so we can just say dot read. That will be, let's position it, we'll position it on row number 2, right, because I'm going to add some stuff on row number 1. So this is row number 2 equals that, right. Okay, if we choose to run it, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, that's my 7 there, but right on top of it is supposed to be CE, so let me copy that and just paste that right on top of here, and I'm going to call this very one, let's call it clear entry, and clear entry we have CE as value on it, and the rule for that is going to be 1 and 0, right. So we leave that as 1 and 0, column is 0. Alright, that's fine. Let's run that now and see how it's going to be. That should be on top of 7 really. There we go. Okay, now that that is done, let's copy this. Let's come in here, we need more rooms here. Okay, let's just come right down here, press enter. Okay, I'm just going to copy this. See this one? I'm going to copy that and paste that underneath here, and another one, and this one is going to be C, and this is going to be clear. That's just going to be clear, and this column will be 1, right. Yeah, that's 1, and this one will be 2. Okay, and the third one here, I'm going to call that btn square root. Okay, that's going to be square root. Let's make it one word. btn square root. In the case of square root, that is 2. That is correct. Right, we now need to, let me just put space so that you guys can see. Right, This is CE button, clear button, and square root button. So we now need the symbol of square root. I'm going to copy the symbol of square root inside Word document. Let's go to Word document, and we should be able to see that here. That's it. You guys can see that. Here I'm going to copy. If you don't know where it is, just go to symbol, insert symbol. That is it right there, and that is it. You can just click, and there we go. So I'm going to copy that. Alright, let's copy and come right in here and just paste it right there. No text inside the text. There we go. So if I save and run, this is how my system should look like. You see that, guys? So nothing is happening now. Alright, we need one more button because I want it to be 4 across. So I'm just going to add another one that will be for my, let's copy that. That will be for the plus sign. Okay, let's paste that. We're going to paste it right below, so just right here, and let's change the name to btn add, and the text content on it, I'm going to change that to plus, and the column is 3. So if I save and run, this is what you guys will see. Oh, let's see what happened there. Alright, we need to close this. Close that. Okay, that's fine. Run it again, and there we go. But none of these buttons do nothing right now. As you can see, nothing is happening. Okay, let's come in here. One other thing is you can also use, you see right here, you can also use ASCII and binary character there. So I'm going to use, instead of typing in plus, I can just enter the binary character, which is 43 for the plus sign. So if you don't know the characters, you can also go online and research it. I think I have one here. That's it. You see the plus sign is 43. Okay, so go online and research that. So let's run the program and see, and that should also give me the plus sign. That is fine. Alright, so that is taking care of the first, or the top. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 is taking care of. The first rows are taken care of. Alright, so the second row, this is the second row. I'm just going to copy this and just change it around. 1, 2, 3. So this one is going to be 8, 9, and that is 9. No, that's 9. That is 8. Right, and we also need to change it. That is 0. This will be 1, 2, and the next character here is, that is supposed to be subtract. Let's see, the subtract is 45. So let's say in here you enter, you can also enter just subtract, but I just want to enter 45, the ASCII character, ASCII and binary character here. Okay, so let's change the column of that. So that's going to be 3. So if I run it now, let's come in here and run that and see what's going to happen. And there we go. Okay, right. Okay, we have the first row. That's the first row. Let's enter a comment in there. That's row, that is row number 2 actually. Okay, that's row 2, and we have row 3 below. And this, where I have my text box here, is row number 1. Row 1 is class as 0. Okay, so let's just say 0, 1, 2. Okay, let's compile and run again. And there, well, I don't seem to like this. Let's see what is wrong with the size of the display. Okay, width, that was meant to be 28. Try it out again. There we go. Now let's copy all of these, copy and paste it right down here. That is row number 3. On row number 3, that's 2, 3. So everything here 2, 3. Row 3, no, 3, 3 and 3, and this will be 4, 5, and this is 6. Yeah, here this one was supposed to be subtract, so that's meant to be sub, and we made this one multiply, mult. Okay, an ASCII character for multiplication. If you want, you can use character, or you can just say equals. There, the choice is yours. I'm just showing you guys different ways of entering those characters. So this is 6, 5 and 4. Okay, let's run it and see how it's going to look like. Alright, we have an error. Okay, so let's see, what did I do wrong? So I was meant to get rid of that. It was part of the character, ASCII character. Alright then, let's see. You see that, guys? So everything is taking shape now. Now let's do one more, just one more. So this is 3. We'll do the 4th one. Copy, paste. This is number 4, and this is going to be 1. Enter 1 here, 2, 3, and 3 there. And this, the rows will be 4. There we go. And here, that's supposed to be division. So we change this to division. Right. Now let's run it and see. The 4th one is taken care of as well. Okay, but you see all of these, I do want a pattern for all of these. So where we have colors here, let me get rid of those colors. So the color we have in here, I'm going to get rid of it. I don't want any color here. Only the numbers, we have the colors. So that goes, and that's not the number, this goes as well. That is subtract, that goes as well. And addition, that goes too. Okay, and what about all the colors I have on top? Yeah, I don't want no color for them, but let's run it first and see. There. So get rid of these colors here. Okay, all of these colors goes. Nice. Save that. and this is how it looks now. So we need just one more button rules, and we can then start work on the main functions. Okay, let's take care of the fifth rule. So I'm going to copy all of these again and just paste it right underneath here. Change this one to the fifth rule. Right, scroll right down. The rule will be fifth. So enter 5 there, 5 and 5 and 5 here. Okay, the last one, that's going to be equals. Right, so for equals we enter the sign equals there, and followed by plus and minus, P and M. The character, ASCII character for that is going to be character equals 177, and this is going to be dot, that's decimal. Just enter a dot sign there, and this is going to be 0. Enter 0 here. Right, we don't want colors on them as well, so get rid of all these colors that I have in there. Get rid of that there, and save and run. There we go, guys. The interface is ready, but nothing is happening. It's beautiful. So have a good look at it. Let me show you guys the lines of codes. Let's take it from the top. Right, bring it down. Have a good look at it. You can just copy so that you don't make any mistake. Then take it down and down and there. So the next thing now is to start work with the functions. Alright, right up here I'm going to enter these functions, and my very first function is going to be, let's say, declare function. That's going to be called display, and that is going to be self, comma, value. Right, and let's say txt display dot delete, and that is end. So that's how you delete. Okay, now let's insert as follows. Let's say txt display dot insert, and what we insert in that is the value is there. Right, okay, the other declaration I'm going to make, that's going to be for, let's go for the P and M declaration. So I'm just going to call that sign, and let's say self. Now for that it's going to be self dot result. Okay, dot result equals false. Alright, the next one is going to be self dot current, this very one here, and let's say equals, we're going to have to float as follows: float the following. So what I'm floating is txt display dot get, right, and there. Okay, let's close this here. Right, now it's a self dot display equals self dot current, right there. Okay, let's create another one. This other one is going to be for my, let's copy that. I'm just going to use that for my square root. So I'm going to call it squared. So squared, right. And in the case of squared, we're going to be using the mass function. So let's change this to mass dot square, right there. That should take care of that. Okay, so let's enter semicolon here, as we end up column, or else we will end up with an error. Okay, those are the three functions. I've just created three functions. Let's try, I'm going to try out these two functions and see how they will work. This is supposed to be for the plus and the other one is for squared. So let's come in here. Where's the square? We have the square here. No, that is for P and M. Where is my, the other one is for squared. I think I have the squared somewhere. Yeah, this is for my squared. Okay, this is for the P and M. Let's see, squared. Yeah, right here. Okay, that's for the squared. Let's just enter comma command equals added value underscore value dot squared. Right, so that's for the squared, and the other one that is going to be for the sine. So let's copy that. Let's copy that and come right down here. Where is it? Here. Paste that in there and change that one to sine. Okay, save and run and see how it's going to look like. Okay, we have an error. I think it's got to do with indentation. Alright, let's get it indented. 1 and 2. Let's just run it and see anyway. Alright. Okay, let's say we cannot, this button doesn't do anything, but I can just use my keyboard to enter some values in there. So let's try out the square. There we go, and let's try out the plus and okay, that's fine. Alright, so those two are working. So now let's continue and forget about that error. Okay, let's try it one more time and let's go for maybe 64. So if we say 64, this should give us 8. Right, that is correct. Now close that. Now for the rest functions, I'm going to create, let's create two more here for, that's going to be for clear, right, and this is for clear all. Let's copy that, come right down as clear all. Let's see where that is. Oh, that might be up here somewhere. Yeah, this very one. That's going to be command equals, that should be added value. So added value as well. Let's just copy that, paste that there, and the next one is just ordinary clear. So I'm going to copy this, copy and paste this here. Now let's look for the method or the functions. So this one is just clear all, copy that, come right in here and paste that right inside clear all entries, clear all clear entries. Okay, now the next one is clear entries. Come right here and replace that with that. Yeah, so let's try it out as well. So those both clear buttons should be working fine. That is fine. Right, the clear functions are working as expected. Okay, that is fine. Now let's take care of the most important part of it. So have a good look at the 4 functions, the 5 actually, that I've just taken care of. This 5. Now the most important bit are for the calculations. Okay, right in here I'm going to enter the rest of the function. I have to speed this up. There we go, guys. So let's have a good look from here. These are the new functions that I've just entered. Okay, the first one is enter number, and that is it. So whatever you enter inside display is stored inside variable first number, and the second one is stored inside variable second number, which is then added together. There it is, guys. Okay, let's take it down, and this is where we sum up everything. Then we validate the function here to check which of the operators that are selected. Then the necessary arithmetic operator are taken care of here. And there, guys. And the other functions here you saw earlier, those are for clear, display, that's to delete, and here we have for the plus and minus here as well. Yeah. Okay, so now what is left for me to do is I'm going to use lambda. So right here, let's say we start with number 1 here. So let's enter and say comma, command equals lambda. I believe you are all aware of the lambda function. Column added value underscore value dot number enter, and that is supposed to be, no, it is 1. Right, that's the very first one. So I'm going to copy this. Let's copy it from here and paste it for the rest. So this is number 2, number 3, and change that to 3 as well. And let's just speed it up, and I'll get back to you guys now that you understand what's going on. So paste that, change that to 6, and let's speed it up. Okay, we've entered all of the command onto each of those buttons. There we go. So for all the number buttons, they are all taken care of. Let's run it and you see what I'm talking about. So we can now just click and enter value here. but none of these arithmetic operator do anything yet apart from something like this, plus and minus, and this. Okay, so for the plus and minus, first thing first, let's come in here and just make that plus and minus instead of sign. So I'll just call it operator OP plus and minus, and I'm going to change that to plus and minus as well. Let's change that function to plus and minus. The function is right up here, operator plus and minus. That is fine. Right, now we need to take care of the calculations. Okay, the next thing to do now is to call the operators for the addition and so on. So let's come right in here. See where we have addition. So I'm going to copy the lambda function again. Let's take it from here. Let's copy that and come right in here, paste it right there, and there the operation or operator for that is going to be operation. It's called, that's the function. Let me show you guys the function that is there. I'm going to copy the function, copy that, and I'm going to then add the addition sign. So take it right down, operation for add, enter that there, open and close a bracket and enter add there. So that's the function for that taken care of. Might as well copy this, copy all of this. Now let's come into subtraction, paste that in there, change it to subtraction sub. Now let's take it down here. Now enter mod there. That'll be mod. I believe is, yeah, that is fine. And here we have division. Paste that in there and just change this to dev or division. Divide. Right, let's see, what do I have up here? Yeah, that's correct. Alright, so the only bit that is left for us to take care of now, that is going to be this equals. Paste that in there, and then we need to enter the equals. For the equals, I'm going to get rid of this, and that is going to be dot sum of total, dot sum underscore of underscore total. Right, so let's see. Okay, so let's have a good look at these lines of code, then we can then run it and see. So that's for my row 5, row number 4, 3, 2, 1, and the text box, and all my functions right up here. Have a good look at it, especially these very ones, because you guys need these ones. That's where all the calculation takes place. Right there. So I'll take it back. Have a good look at it. Then we can run the program. Okay guys, I'm now going to run the program. There we go. Let's have a go. There we go guys. So let's try this out. 7 plus 9 equals that. Divide by 3. That is correct. Plus and minus. Let's multiply that by 5 there. Okay, clear. multiply by 9. No, I don't want that. 3. There we go. Alright, let's clear that. So this multiply by this. I don't want that. I want 4. There we go. That's working. And there. So guys, with that, I'm gonna call it the end of this tutorial. I suppose you guys enjoyed. So you all have a nice day now. Bye for now.